from the Podwires newsroom at joinpodwires.com.
It's Sunday, July 19th. I'm your host, and this is Podwire's 5 Things, Podcast Industry Edition. Coming up, Audioboom just turned down 3 buyout offers, and its books explain exactly why. Plus, the AI tool that wants to turn picking a podcast sponsor into a 5-second job. And BBC's podcast reach just quietly outgrew most of its competitors outside Britain entirely. Those stories and more, let's get into it. Audioboom, the world's 5th largest podcast publisher according to Edison research, reported Tuesday, July 14th that first-half revenue climbed 30% to $45.7 million, with adjusted profit up 80% to $3.2 million. And here's the real headline. The board turned down 3 separate takeover offers to stay independent. For the roughly 8,000 podcasters on Audioboom's platform, including the official Formula One shows and True Crime Obsessed, that independence means more leverage negotiating minimum guarantee deals instead of answering to a new owner. The numbers explain the confidence. Showcase ad revenue grew 60%, and monthly downloads and video views hit 183 million, up 84% year-on-year. CEO Stuart Last says the results reflect discipline and consistency. 3 unnamed bidders made offers during a review that ran from October through June. The board rejected all 3 as undervaluing the company. What's next? Audioboom is banking on the U.S. midterms for political podcast ad demand and is targeting $200 million in revenue by 2030 through 4 or 5 more acquisitions. Meanwhile, in public broadcasting, the BBC's annual report published this month shows its international podcast business reached 116 million listeners outside the UK over the past financial year, generating more than 515 million RSS downloads. That's a British public broadcaster competing head-to-head with US giants for global ears. Proof BBC content travels well past the license fee payers who fund it. BBC Studios says its true crime series Stalked was its top podcast worldwide, earning Best of 2025 recognition from Apple and Spotify. Domestically, BBC Sounds hit its own record, 718 million plays between January and March, up 5% year-on-year. What's next? Watch whether that international growth keeps offsetting the BBC's ongoing UK radio declines. The corporation is clearly betting its future on on-demand. Here's thing number 3. Edison Research released its Q2 2026 podcast rankings Friday, July 17th. Joe Rogan, Crime Junkie, and The Daily held the top 3 spots, same as last quarter, but there was real movement further down the chart. That matters because these rankings are what advertisers use to decide where next quarter's ad dollars go. Stephen Bartlett's Diary of a CEO cracked the top 20 for the first time, boosted by guests including J.D. Vance and Ivanka Trump. The Bill Simmons podcast jumped 17 spots into the top 25 after its move to Netflix. Huberman Lab climbed to 22nd, despite host Andrew Huberman being linked in April to a 2024 smear campaign story. The steepest fall, the Megyn Kelly Show, down 25 places from 19th to 44th. 3 shows cracked the top 50 for the first time. The rest is history, the Y-Files, and the Bulwark. We'll see in October if any of them stick. Now over to the ad tech side of the business. Podcast ad tech platform SpotsNow launched an AI-powered search tool Tuesday, July 14th, that ranks more than 61,000 shows by audience fit, instead of advertisers manually combing through media kits and spreadsheets. Picking the right show has always been the highest stakes, hardest call an ad buyer makes. This could compress days of research into minutes for advertisers who can't afford a full media buying team. SpotsNow CEO Cam Pritchard put it this way: isolating the right shows is where advertisers lose a lot of time. The core search is free with deeper data behind a paid plan, and it plugs directly into Claude and ChatGPT. Fair warning, free access inside those chat assistants only runs through July 22nd. After that, expect it behind SpotsNow's paywall. And finally, thing number 5. TikTok comedy duo The Lovely Boys, Benny Cohen and Willie Robbins, launched their first long-form podcast this week, The Lovely Boys Talking Good, moving beyond short sketches into full episodes. It's a small but telling sign of a bigger trend: social native comedians treating podcasting as the next stage after TikTok, not a replacement for it. The pair say the move followed requests from their 350,000 followers for more in-depth content. The show mixes sketches and confessions about modern masculinity and friendship. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Honestly, we'll see if they can hold long-form attention the way they hold a 15-second scroll. Tomorrow, we'll be watching whether Audioboom's new HSBC credit facility actually closes and whether SpotsNow's free AI window survives past July 22nd. My take? When your biggest headline of the year is turning down buyers, that's about the loudest "we're fine" a company can send. That's your Podwire's 5 Things. I'm your host, Jamie. Subscribe wherever you listen. See you at the next update.
That's your wrap. Want the inside track on podcasting? Join podwires.com is your next stop. Subscribe to the newsletter for the latest trends and tap into the marketplace to connect with jobs, creators, and brands shaping audio's future. Don't just listen, get involved. Head to joinpodwires.com today.